the unbelievable truth, the show that deals in the weirdness of the world. For example, in Japan, they sell dog toupees, which is almost as ridiculous as dog toupees. Now, playing tonight on The Unbelievable Truth are Julian Morrow, Sam Simmons, Kitty Flanagan and Shane Jacobson. The game works like this. Each player is given a topic to talk about. Everything they say should be a lie, except for a few true facts, which they try and smuggle past the panel for points. The other guests buzz in if they think something is true. If they're right, they get a point, but if they're wrong, they lose one. OK, first up tonight is Shane Jacobson. Shane Jacobson played Penny so well that many people believed he really did spend all day cleaning toilets. But he's actually an actor, so he only cleans toilets at night. Shane's topic is Vikings.
Now, everyone knows that myself and the rest of the Jacobson clan are direct descendants of the Finnish Vikings. Vikings never fought for land or money. They only ever fought for the fun of it.
Yes, Kitty, what do you think's true there?
Oh, I've just realised what I'm about to say. It's really stupid. I was going to say they just fought for money, not for land. They fought for money and then they bought the land with the money. That's what I meant to say.
Yes, this will surprise you, but the Vikings did fight for land and money. They were very honest. I mean, they'd rape and pillage you, but in the end, they'd buy your house off you. I'm sorry, you lose a point.
I thought Vikings are made up, aren't they? Like, I didn't think they were real things, like Santa Claus. I'm pretty sure they're not.
Continue.
Vikings ate magic mushrooms to get high before fighting. The chemicals inside the mushrooms drove them crazy.
That's true.
Yeah.
OK, Kitty. Yes, that's right. Well done. The Vikings, before they would fight, they would do a religious ceremony where they danced around the woods and ate magic mushrooms before fighting.
What was their religion? Because I'm quite interested in joining.
Yeah.
If that's the religious ceremony.
It's not a bad one, is it? It would explain why you fought so hard, though, because the whole time you think you're being attacked by purple dragons or something. I think Kitty got a point. Let's continue.
Yes, so as Kitty said, yes, they ate magic mushrooms, and their sort of mushroom madness caused them to kill, steal and burn without mercy. This was known as non-realistic logic, later to be shortened just to NRL. Fighting, eating with their bare hands and fornicating weren't the Vikings' only sports. Vikings invented, believe it or not, ice skating, using little skates here made of bones.
Yes, Stan, what do you think's true there?
Bones.
Like, you think bones exist?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Could you broaden that slightly for me?
Bone truth. Yeah, I reckon they would have made ice skates out of bone.
Yeah, no, that is correct.
Sense.
Well done. Swedish Vikings invented ice skates using skates made of reindeer or oxen bones and put them together using Allen keys.
The Vikings were the first to introduce taxes. Vikings imposed a nose tax. If you didn't pay it, they had your nose cut off. The globe-trotting Vikings used to remember some of the folks they'd met on their mini travels by killing them and making cups out of their skulls.
Yes, Sam.
That is true.
That is not true, actually.
No, it is, because that's why your skull. I'm pretty sure that is... I'm pretty sure... Is that where you were going?
It's actually a common misconception that Vikings used skulls to drink from, but there's actually no archaeological evidence of that at all. Some people have been shown to drink out of skulls. The ancient Chinese, the Tibetans, and this guy...
Stop banging on about it, gee.
Sorry. Sorry. But that's the thing, is that if you actually have a skull, it doesn't have the eyes filled in or the mouth. How do you actually drink?
I think lifesavers would probably recommend that you close over the mouth. Let's tilt the head back.
We've learned how to drink out of a skull, but apparently it's not a Viking tradition. So you lose points. Sorry, Sam. Continue.
The Vikings would celebrate Christmas by rowing their boat to an unexplored island, whereas nowadays the tradition has been changed to boat people being taken to Christmas Island with nothing to celebrate. Vikings used salt to brush their teeth, rancid butter to style and dress their hair, and they used a TV Week magazine to wipe their ass with.
Yeah. Yes, Kitty, what do you think is true there?
I think salt and butter.
Salt and butter.
And maybe some popcorn.
You are
salt to brush
wrong
their teeth.
and
Oh.
right. Congratulations. You lose a point and win a point. The Vikings did not use salt to brush their teeth, but rancid butter was used as a style to dress their hair. They put rancid butter. It was actually just butter to start with, but after a day or two it became rancid, and so they
I know, because
restarted.
I've used it myself.
You've used it, yeah.
It's got quite a hold
And it looks
factor.
great.
I use creme fraiche.
That is why when the first hair gel came out, in Viking times, the ad for it was, "I can't believe it's not butter." It is actually true, though, that the Vikings didn't use paper. They used lamb's wool to wipe their asses.
Ooh, that sounds quite nice.
I've done that. Now, no, it works. You just basically stand in a paddock and then basically just let one just run under you and just like...
I did a TV show where we went to a Viking village, and what the guy said, "Would you like to eat from my spoon?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "Never say yes to the spoon. It's a spoon they use to wipe themselves with." So there was...
Use a spoon to wipe their ass?
It's better to be shaped like a spoon than a knife or a fork, I think.
What did you do to him that he offered you his shit spoon? I'm not very proud of this, but I once used a slice of bread.
How was it?
Don't use multigrain, it really hurts. Bad.
Well, I don't know. How did we get to that? Thank you, Shane. Shane managed to get 2 truths past the panel. The first one is that Shane is actually descended from the Finnish Vikings. Also, the Vikings imposed a nose tax. If you didn't pay it, you had your nose cut off. That is the actual tax they had. Very effective, I would have said. A lot of wealthy Vikings will put their nose in their wife's name. Coming up next, Kitty Flanagan serves up some lies about tennis. Come on! Welcome back to the show where Kitty Flanagan is lining up her unbelievable truths. In 2010, Kitty Flanagan was named Australian of the Year by Sarah Murdoch. Her topic is tennis.
Tennis. An early form of the game was played in ancient Egypt, where it was known as pharaoh ball. Perhaps a better name would have been camel ball, because people, I don't want to shock you, but that's exactly what it was. The ball was expertly fashioned from the scrotum of a young camel. After removing one testicle, the nutsack was then tightened around the remaining testy to create a fuzzy ball, approximately...
Not for tennis, but that definitely did happen as like a child's toy.
I don't think... Not recently. This is not Mattel or something.
I reckon it would have happened. They would have made like testicle balls. Well, you know, for kids.
weapons.
It
It's
doesn't
fun,
make it...
he's right.
It's not actually true, I'm sorry.
Oh.
You lose a point.
Yeah, well, their loss would have made a great toy.
The nutsack was then pulled tight around the remaining testy to create a fuzzy ball, approximately 8.6 centimetres in diameter, exactly the same as your modern-day Slazenger. In fact, Monica Seles...
Yes, Julian.
Is that exactly the same as a modern-day Slazenger?
No, it is not.
Right.
Yeah. A modern tennis ball is 65.44 to 68.58 millimetres in diameter. Woo! Continue.
Monica Seles, who is part Egyptian and whose name is an anagram of camel noises, reportedly paid $6,700 for one of these mummified ancient gonads. She keeps it on her mantelpiece next to a novelty pyramid clock and Nefertiti Pez dispenser. All her trophies, however...
Yes, Julian.
I think Monica Seles is an anagram of camel noises.
It is an anagram. Roger Federer is also an anagram of edge error ref. Sam Stoser is an anagram of ass tumours. And Leighton Hewitt is an anagram of what a knob, but only if you change all the letters in his name.
Monica Seles was, of course, famous for being stabbed with a cake fork by her very angry coach after she double faulted in the quarterfinals at the French Open. An Australian Christian rock band was so inspired by Seles and the courage she showed that they renamed themselves the Monicas. They went on to have a minor hit with their tribute song, Grunting for Jesus. Grunt when I serve, grunting's my life. Grunt when I get stabbed with a knife. Oh, grunting for Jesus.
What do you think's true there?
There's a video. It's...
I'm going to press the buzzer, but beyond that, I'm going to say something, and that is that I reckon a band would have named itself, because that's funny. If I was in a band, I would do that. Is there a band called the Monicas?
Yes, there is. Well done.
Wow.
They did. They made a song. They released a song called Fly, Monica's Fly, which Seles stumbled across while recovering from her stabbing. And she said, I received this at a pretty tough time in my life, and it was a very inspirational. I played it a lot.
More like the Moronicas.
So you get a point, Shane. You lose one.
In 1992, bad smells were an issue on the court in Zambia, where local player Lighten File blamed his defeat on the fact that his opponent kept blowing off every time he served. He claimed the incessant farting made him lose concentration. Billie Jean King was the first to wear the fancy frilly tennis panty, so popular in the 1970s, and I apologise for the use of the word panty. It was revealed in her autobiography, The King is Bi, that she only wore the huge knickers to disguise the fact that underneath she was wearing an adult diaper. Apparently she hit the ball so hard that every now and again a tiny bit of wee would come out.
Thank you, Kitty. Was there a buzz there?
Yeah. Oh, God, what was Kitty talking about? Tennis.
Billie Jean.
Yeah. That she wore the adult diaper. I think that she might have worn an adult diaper.
Oh, it's a double buzz. Oh, technically that doesn't work.
That's good news, because then you're both wrong.
You can't double buzz. It should only be him getting the point.
made me do it.
Billie Jean did not write in her biography that she was wearing an adult diaper because a little bit of wee came out. I'm sorry. And I don't want to ruin the end of the biography if you're halfway through.
Oh, come on, that depends.
Yeah. Thank you, Kitty. Kitty managed to smuggle one true past the panel for 1 point. And that is that this is what a Zambian tennis player in 1992 said after losing a local match. He said of his opponent, Bwala is a stupid man and a hopeless player. He has a huge nose and is cross-eyed. Girls hate him. He beat me because my jockstrap was too tight and because when he serves, he farts. And that made me lose concentration, for which I am famous throughout Zambia. How good is that? That is the best speech ever. Yeah. The tennis world was shocked when Monica Seles was stabbed on court by an obsessed Steffi Graf fan. It wasn't until Andre Agassi's biography came out that we realised there was another drug-addicted Steffi Graf fan quite nearby. Coming up, Sam Simmons tells more lies about a dog than someone praising the movie Australia.
Dogs get 11 mentions in the Bible and cats only get 2. Suck on that, cats.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Unbelievable Truth, where next up is Sam Simmons. Sam Simmons is one of Australia's most sought-after comedians, according to federal police. Sam is joined tonight by Ziggy for his talk on dogs.
Like all best friends, when you're not watching, dogs like to do things like urinate on smaller dogs. They also borrow money from you at the pub, sniffing you from behind until inevitably they run off with your girlfriends whilst dry humping your leg as you're left alone in a park with a stick, cradling an empty leash, calling out for Dr. Noodles like an idiot. Dr. Noodles! Here, Dr. Noodles! Oh, where's Dr. Noodles?
Yes, Julian.
I believe that to be a factual part of Sam Simmons' life.
No, you lose a point.
Oh.
There is no factual part of Sam Simmons' life.
Ziggy, oi. Can I have a little kid? This little kid. Dogs were invented in the late 1800s by Paul Swankley. Yeah, Swankley. An overweight, short-sighted fabric weaver from Sussex in England after he accidentally stitched a live cat inside a teddy bear. The muffled meows almost sounded impossibly bark-like, even though they were meows. In the 1880s, a Frenchman invented a tricycle powered by dogs on treadmills. A man had to walk in front carrying a lamb chop on a string, whilst another man walked behind with a pooper scooper. A dog's breakfast refers to the potato famine in Ireland when Irish wolfhound and terriers were used as a potato substitute. Mashed collie and peas is still a very popular dish in Cork. Smells like regret.
Yes. Kitty, what do you think's true there?
I think they ate dogs in Ireland during the potato famine.
You are right. We did discover it is true. They did eat it.
That's not right.
Now, you might want to cover Ziggy's ears for this, but the dogs would eat the dead people, and then the people would eat the dogs. It was a real cycle of life.
By the way, mashed potato is an Irish breakfast staple with a side of Guinness and more potato on the side. So why is it okay to racially vilify the Irish and the Italians for that matter? Those Dolmio ads are racist.
Lasagna is ready.
The Dolmio ads are a little bit racist.
That's not racist. That's just what Italian stereotypes speak like. It's true.
In 2004, a German pensioner who trained his dog Adolf to do the Hitler salute was given a 13-month suspended sentence. His flock of geese was also confiscated for overtly aggressive marching.
Yes, Julian.
Not the geese, but the dog.
Yeah, no, the dog bit is true. That's right. Well done. In 2004, a German pensioner who trained his dog Adolf to do the Hitler salute was given a 13-month suspended sentence. The dog claimed he was just following orders, though. So that's right. Congratulations, Julian, you get a point.
To atone for past acts of cruelty to dogs, an Indian farmer married a female dog in a traditional Hindu ceremony in 2007. In Germany, toddlers were strapped to the back of dachshunds during the bombings in Berlin. The dogs would escape to bolt through underground tunnels and bunkers, thus the name Dachshund. The Australian Kennel Club insists that a Dalmatian must have at least 300 black spots to qualify as a true breed. Less than 300 spots is known as a spotty whiteo. More than 500 spots and it's a black Labrador. My favourite is a golden...
What are you going to buzz there?
Are there rules about how many spots you got to have to be a purebred?
Yes, there are rules, actually, but that they weren't in any way related to anything that Sam said. Continue.
My favourite kind of Labrador is a golden lab, but no one likes a meth lab. I'd leave as well. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are such avid fans of poodles, beagles and spaniels, they've spent close to $200,000 on crossbreeding the three to make a spoogle, or a bagel poo. Dogs don't need to stand in the sun because they make their own vitamin D. They also make their own soaps, jams, baked goods. Dogs are in fact very crafty animals. You may have heard of the famous Al Pacino film, Dog Day Crafternoon.
Has he put any truths in?
Sorry, snot came out again. He's dribbling, I'm snotting. This is not good. All right. Dogs get 11 mentions in the Bible and cats only get 2. Suck on that, cats.
Thank you, Sam. Sam managed to smuggle 2 truths past the panel for 2 points, and they were: in the 1880s, a Frenchman invented a tricycle powered by dogs on treadmills. It's called a cynosphere. And also, to atone for past acts of cruelty to dogs, an Indian farmer married a female dog at a traditional Hindu ceremony in 2007. Up next, Julian Morrow tells a series of unconvincing stories about lightsabers, just like George Lucas did.
Lightsabers come in 3 flavours. Blueberry for Jedis, strawberry for Sith, and for people who don't make up their minds very well, Neapolitan.
Welcome back to The Unbelievable Truth, where our final guest is Julian Morrow. Julian's move from law into television was much celebrated by everyone. Not because he's any good at TV, but because it meant one less lawyer. His topic is lightsabers.
Lightsabers have been in 59 movies, including, most famously, the fantasy trilogy The Lord of the Rings, as well as Gandhi and Free Willy 3. Lightsabers come in 3 flavours. Blueberry for Jedis, strawberry for Sith, and for people who don't make up their minds very well, Neapolitan. The lightsaber is in fact a real weapon which was invented in Adelaide in 1979 by Harold Dayton. The original design included a handy leaf blower function. According to Star Wars mythology, which you can read online in Wikipedia, early lightsabers...
I have to.
You know what? I'm going to give you a point there because there is Wikipedia. That's the most sense you've made all night. No, there is actually a website called Wikipedia which documents an extensive history of the lightsaber, and it has over 90,000 pages on it.
Awesome.
Wikipedia is a rare example of history being written by the losers.
Early lightsabers got their energy from belt power packs, but they proved inefficient with a battery life even worse than the Apple iPhone 4S. Before the belt packs, lightsabers were powered by electricity and had to be plugged into wall sockets, but this proved difficult in hand-to-hand combat. Lightsaber fencing was a demonstration sport at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. Indeed,
I bet it was. I bet it was.
How much do you want to bet? All right, you lose. Continue.
Indeed, before Star Wars, Darth Vader was the British Olympic fencing coach. In Portland, Oregon, the lightsaber is the official sidearm of the police force, whose slogan is "The Force is with you."
None of this is true. The Force is with you, I reckon, is real. That's real, that badge.
No, it's wrong. That's not the Portland, Oregon's slogan.
It should be.
I agree, but sorry, you lose a point.
They have established, though, that the lightsaber can disarm a taser. To the immense disappointment of George Lucas, lightsaber merchandise has never been commercially successful, with the exception of the very convenient and easy to use lightsaber cutlery. Yours for just $29.99. And
May the fork be with you.
and for a mere $3,500, the lightsaber grandfather clock.
Here's Kitty.
I think at some conventions they probably did sell those things.
No, sadly, we had to make that damn thing.
The most iconic lightsaber battle of all time was between Darth Vader and Lionel Skywalker. It was so fierce that Vader's lightsaber ended up bent out of shape. Skywalker's lightsaber ended up on the International Space Station. Unfortunately, there is no video footage of this battle, but...
True.
Yeah, that is true, because you said between Darth Vader and Lionel Skywalker.
Yeah, all right.
So
okay.
there isn't any footage of that, is there? Because the name was wrong, idiot.
Okay, all right.
You get a point, Kitty. Well done.
There is no video footage of the original Star Wars fight, but thankfully, Darth Vader has been kind enough to come into the studio today to show us how he hacked off the hero's left hand and then uttered the immortal line.
Julian, I am your father.
No! And you can understand why he was upset. Not just because his dad hacked off a perfectly good hand, but also because of Darth Vader's true identity.
Thanks, Julian. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on!
Thank you, Julian. You got 4 truths past the panel. Well done. And they were... In Star Wars mythology, belt power packs were used on the early lightsabers. This is according to Wikipedia. So I don't know if that makes it true. Darth Vader was the British Olympic fencing coach. He was Bob Anderson, who was the stunt double for Darth Vader in fight scenes. The main guy in the costume, though, was David Prowse. Here is Darth Vader teaching kids how to cross the road.
Was it? If you'd been looking and listening all the way across, that wouldn't have happened.
We won't be there when you cross the road, so always use the cross hand.
I hope he's not there when you cross the road, because my parents definitely said if you see a man in Lycra, do not talk to him.
A lightsaber can disarm a taser. A man from Portland, Oregon was arrested after he allegedly swung a toy lightsaber at customers in a toy store. But the police officer tried to stun the assailant with his taser, but he broke his taser in the battle with the lightsaber. The man is being held in carbonite for future questioning. The original lightsaber prop used by Luke Skywalker was flown to the International Space Station to mark the 30th anniversary of the film's franchise. There you go. I bet they don't pay the same respect to any of the merchandise from Big Mama's House 3, right? 30 years, let's put it up there. So the results of the show now, ladies and gentlemen. And in 4th place, on -1 points, it's Kitty Flanagan. In 3rd place, on 0 points, it's Shane Jacobson. In 2nd place, on 2 points, it's Sam Simmons. And in 1st place, on 4 points, it's Julian Morrow. That's it for this week. Thank you to all our guests tonight. They were all truly unbelievable, and that's the unbelievable truth. See ya.